Everyone, Paul here. Today I'm going to be showing you guys a strategy with doing Forex and how I believe this is kind of like the only strategy that will kind of help with Forex, because with Forex the candles, they move so fast, especially if you're dealing with like the Japan dollar. But what I want to show you is kind of the strategy that I do whenever I do Forex. Now, currently, I'm not doing Forex with, actual money. I practice. I like to practice and, tune it up a bit with Forex, because I want to be, I want to get good at it instead of just, like everything else, I want to study it enough to where I'm good at it first. And with Forex, you do have an option of you can get a demo account, you can get a pretend amount of money, and you can practice with that money. So I would suggest practicing first and finding a good strategy that works. But today I'm going to show you kind of what works for me. We're going to use the example of doing it with the Australian dollar, because that's kind of the one I do. This strategy, really all you need is, I talk a lot of it on the channel. I do the 5, the 8, and the 20 moving average with RSI and stochastic RSI. But before we do that, we have to draw some lines and find our support and resistance. So what I'm going to do is I'll show you how to set that up. We're going to look at it on the hour, and then we're going to zoom in a little bit closer on the minute, and we're going to see what happens. Okay, so this is what you got to do to set it up. First, you got to make sure, and I talk about this in every video, I set my moving averages. I get the 3 smooth moving averages. This allows you to have 3 moving averages in one. So you're not chewing up your space on your free account. So you just change the length to 5, 8, and 20. Change your style. Now the 20, I make a little bit more thick, but that's really personal preference. So once you have the moving averages, it'll look like this. You'll clearly be able to see. Now, just doing this alone, you could let's switch over to the Australian dollar here. Let's go to the Australian dollar. Okay, so just with the moving averages by itself, you can wait for moments when it crosses. Now, this is not the main moment of making profit here, but I'm on the hour here, so what you want to do, one method, is wait for everything to cross, and that would be a moment for a quick scalp. You see that moment happening right here. You see that moment happening right here. So this moment right here, when it all crossed, was about 381 pips. And then we see it crossing here, right here. We have 658 pips. And then we have a small one right here. We have 445 pips. So this is not the main strategy that I'm showing you. What I want to show you is you can use the moving averages, and you can find the moments when they cross, and you'll usually find a good quick scalp for maybe an hour or so. It all depends. But what I want to kind of do is go over what I do to find the support and resistant moments. So what you want to do is you want to load up your auto Fibonacci extension, and what you want to look for is the point of where you're going to have to draw a line, and we're on the hour. So you draw a line the closest to where the candles are. So that would be right here. So we would draw a line, and then you would draw a couple other lines, just maybe 2 or 3 more. So you draw another line here. I'm going to make that a different color. We're going to make it less thick. Okay, we'll draw a line there. Let's just do 4. Do every side, because the candles move pretty quickly here. So, and this one right here. So that's all you need. That's all the lines you need to draw. You can get rid of your Fibonacci extension. Now, this is easy to see when the market is open, but what I do is after I do that, I'll switch over to the 1 minute. I switch to the 1 minute. And basically, it's real easy to see this and to make your choices. Now, once I do have the lines drawn, the support and resistance drawn, I'll go ahead and, since this is a free account, I'll include the stochastic. I'll put in the stochastic RSI. So now we have the stochastic RSI. So the formula is really simple when you're doing it with support and resistance. Basically, what we can see here from the Australian dollar, because we drew the lines, we drew the Fibonacci on the hour, and now we've zoomed in on the minute. So if this was active right now, if the market was open right now, you would see these candles jumping pretty quickly. So what you want to look for here, and you can see that right here, is when the candles get close to one of the lines, it usually bounces from that point. Unless it breaks, which usually it doesn't. But when you see the candles getting close to the next level, it usually bounces in the opposite direction. So you see that happening right here. You see the candles getting close to this line right here, and then it starts bouncing down. So from this point right here, if you came in right here and you rode this out to the bottom, that'd be a quick little scalp right there. So every time it gets close to the support here, now it doesn't always work, but as you see what happened right here, it touched it, it went up a little bit, but then it went down. So it couldn't hold that next level, was what happened there. So let's just see if this goes back any further. We see this happening here. Touches, goes down, touches, goes down. Touches, goes down. Every time it touches, it usually goes down. It can't hold. Now this is when it went up here, so that's far back. It probably would have to draw new support and resistance lines at that point. But anyway, that's kind of how you do it. You can do it 2 different ways with this strategy. I would prefer doing it with the support and resistance than doing it with the moving averages, but you can do it with the moving averages and find it, the moment they collapse together, you can begin. Now, if you look at this on the minute here, now we looked at that on the hour of when they collided with each other, but see they collided here, and you can write that out. And every time there is a intersection, you could take that as a profit too. It collapses here, so you can write that out. So there's 2 different ways to doing it and earning from Forex. I focus on the Australian dollar, but this works really well, because if you guys look at my community tab, you'll know that I practice doing this. And like I said, I practice Forex. I don't actually play with real money as of right now, but it's good to practice and see if you're actually good at it. But anyway, these steps actually help out, especially drawing your support and your resistance. Now, what I do with support and resistance is I'll draw the support and resistance lines on the hour, and then I'll zoom in on the minute and look at everything on the minute as the market is going, because you want to make your actions as soon as it starts hitting the support or resistance lines. So anyway, this is a very helpful strategy for me. Anyway, if you guys like this video, make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I'll see you guys in future videos.